Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
What up? What up? What up? What's good? What's good? What's good? We back, man. Happy Saturday. How everybody feeling, man? I know there's a lot going on. We got some events. We got some shows. But you know me, man. I'm always here every Saturday. Sometimes 2 times, sometimes 3 times. I'm constantly active. I'm constantly in front of this camera. I can't afford not to be moving and in motion, you know what I'm saying? But glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. I want to say thank you, first and foremost, to my poets, my writers, my content creators, all of you on whatever social media platform you are watching from. I thank you for extending your time, your energy, and your effort out to me, for your conversation, for your poetry, for your spoken word, for your advice, for your gems. Thank you wholeheartedly for being here, sharing in this space. And thank you to the viewers who are here today. Some of you are new. Some of you have been with me for a while now. I appreciate that very much. Tonight won't be any different. I got a video I'm going to play. Some of you already probably seen it before, but there's a little more to this. It goes a little deeper than just Terrence Howard. You know, Corey Holcomb had some words for him. A number of people had some words for him, which means now that I see this, I have to address it myself. I have some questions. I just wanted to make sure I got that out the way. Let me pull this up too real quick while we are here. Do me a solid. If you are not following me, make sure you tap in. Follow me on all streaming platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, Rumble. I'm on everything. You feel me? And I'm active. And I ain't Hollywood. And I support those who support me. I'm all about the smaller channels. I'm all about networking with the people who, you know, got talent, but they don't get the same type of opportunities as the next person. I can't stand these bigger platforms that think they're too special. We don't do that over here. It's all love. It's all support. You can ask anybody that I've ever worked with. It's always professional. You dig? So everything down there at the bottom will pretty much bring you where I'm at. repost, share, let the people know we live. Hit the thumbs up, all that good shit. You know what you get when you come over here. It's no surprise. It's unfiltered. It's unadulterated. There is no politics. There are no scripts. I don't have any connections or ties with any famous people or celebrities, so nobody can stop me from speaking on one party versus being favoritism to the other. So you're not going to get that. Also, if you have any comments, questions, ideas, topics that you want to see discussed up here with the panel that I have during the week or even on the weekends, email me. Everything's at the bottom. Hit me up, DM me. We'll rap. If you want to join the panel, hit me up. We'll rap. I got me a smoothie here. Cause your boy eat too much fried shit. Way too much fried shit. And I gotta get rid of this gut. I gotta start eating healthier. I'm not as young as I used to be. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's give you some context why we are here, and then I'm gonna play the video. And after I play the video, then we'll get further into what Corey said. If you're not familiar, which I'm pretty sure most of you are, Terrence Howard came out expressing Sean Combs' interest in his back door. He had very high interest, in fact, so much so that he was invited to the Diddy parties just like the rest of them was. Only the difference here is he's one of the few who turned him down. Now, when you hear that, it's like, okay, we got somebody who didn't kiss ass. We got a man in the industry who didn't sell his butthole, who didn't sell his soul to be a part of an establishment that pretty much sabotages careers and steps on other people to get the success and the fame and the admiration and the glory and the praise. We got somebody that still got character, that still got morals, that still got boundaries. That's a win, right? You would think that was that simple. And why wouldn't it be? He's not the first person who has spoken up. He's not the first person who has said, look, he tried that shit with me. I'm not doing that. Nah, we good over here. I don't play that way. And then their careers fell off. You never seen them again. There's plenty of people who have stood up against this machine and they had to go a different route with their life. So it wouldn't be unheard of to think that somebody still had common sense. Money and greed didn't take over their life. However, with that being said, there's people right now that question whether or not he's telling the truth. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe that he turned down the proposition? Do you believe that he's never walked through them doors? Do you believe that if you were in Terrence Howard's position, you would turn down those opportunities? And you would say, absolutely not. This is not happening. Because let me tell you something. We judge and we clown and we make jokes and we attack people and make memes about people, compromising themselves for a little bit of money. But you realize that just because They famous don't mean shit. They ain't no different than us. And there's people in our positions who have done a lot worse. So there's speculation, there's assumptions that are being made that he really isn't as stand up as he says. In fact, people are saying, I don't believe you, brother. I think that you really went down that rabbit hole and you let that man lay some plumbing in your back door. I digress. That's a speculation. But I have the video here and I'm going to play it. We're going to examine this video and we're going to address Corey Holcomb and we're going to address O'Shea because he was one of the ones that said, I don't believe that you didn't partake in that little party. Yeah. Let's just address all of it for what it is. So, with that being said, this is almost a 3-minute clip. So, grab you something to drink, something to snack on, get comfortable. Let me know where you stand on this whole thing. And yeah, give me 1 second. We're going to pull this up right now.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman.
Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's start with his remarks. First of all, I didn't hear one thing I didn't agree with or disagree with, for that matter. You want to be famous. You want to be financially protected and secure. I get it. You don't want to struggle. You don't want to worry about your stuff getting put out on the front door or on the curb. You don't want to face the humiliation of sleeping in your car or on the side of a road. You don't want to be that woman or that man that gets looked at with disgust. Oh, he's broke. He's homeless. He's poor. She stink. He can't do anything for society. He's worthless. Nobody wants to be looked at like they're trash. I get it. I truly understand. We judge each other based on what we can provide, how we appear to the world. Everything about us is based on what we can do for others. Can we make you laugh? Can we make you smile? Can we make you orgasm? Can we provide you a specific service? Can we fix your cars? Can we build your homes? Can we bring entertainment into your television screen? Can we provide you ample communication in some form of dopamine? Can we give you something that makes you feel satisfied within yourself through whatever we have to offer you? If you don't have much of anything to give to another human being, humans do not really regard you for nothing. That's just what it is. I see it all day, up and down the timeline on social media all day. It shouldn't be like that, but it's like that. And when men and women cross over, you pursue your dreams, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a singer, you want to be a whatever. There are people waiting on the other side of them doors, and they don't have the same intentions that you have. The smile is not the smile of an angel. Their smile is not the smile of someone who is looking to bring you into a fold of fellowship. Their smile is not the smile of a man or a woman that's looking to uplift manhood or feminism. Their smile is not there to bring you into the fold of community. Their smile is of a devious, manipulative, dark purpose. And their purpose is drawn from entertaining their pleasures, lust, and desires, most of them. You don't see it, or you ignore it. And most people will ignore it. You want it fast. You want it right now. You don't care how you get there as long as you get there. You don't care if you got to suck 20 dicks. You don't care if you got to bend over for a nigga. You don't care if you got to step on your best friend. You don't give a shit. Most people do not care what they have to do to get to where they want to be at. As long as they can say, I finally made it. As long as you can say you are there, you are absolutely fine with compromising yourself for it. And many of these men and women have done it. Many of your favorite celebrities, many of your favorite personalities and influencers have done it. So when he says, once you cross over into that threshold, there's no coming back. There's no, you can't turn that off. He's not lying. Before you go in there, You just want to make music. You want to make history. You want to do something for you, for your family, for your community. You have good intentions until you get introduced to a world that presents itself as lavish, fun, exhilarating, goal-oriented. It offers you women. It offers you men. It offers you shrimp. It offers you your favorite designer bags and your favorite jeans and your favorite coats and hats. It provides you travel, cars, houses, homes. You get to hang around certain people. You get to hang around these celebrities and these folks that you idolized. You get to shake hands with them and eat dinner with them. You get all of it. Yeah, of course you will. At what cost? What cost are you willing to go and willing to accept to cross over into that world? The world that you think is so perfect. The world that you think is so beautiful and so magnificent that you would trade your own personality. You would trade your soul. You would trade everything that makes you who you are for just to walk across the red carpet and stand in front of Ariana Grande for 5 minutes. To stand next to Jay-Z and Beyonce for 5 minutes, to do a collaboration with Lil Wayne, do a collaboration with Kendrick Lamar, do a collaboration with Drake. What does it really cost you to step over that threshold? See, we only see one side of it. And I'm always going to stand on that. We see the nice suits, we see the helicopters, we see the shiny rims, we see the beautiful women that they be hanging out with on the beach. We get the music that we get to drive around to. Girl, sister did that. You see, yeah, we get all of that. What we don't see is the sadistic, sick, make you want to vomit shit. What we don't see is the stuff that will make you look at them differently. The stuff that will make you look at them like, damn, I idolized you. I looked at you like you were a symbol of hope. I looked at you like you were a man or a woman of God. I looked at you like I could raise my children to your example. You are a blueprint to excellence. You are a blueprint to making the Black community, making different races come together. You are that standard. But once you see the shit that they really be doing, oh yeah, it's a different tune. So Terrence Howard is sitting here telling you things that I absolutely agree with. I didn't really see nothing wrong with what he said. In fact, I don't think it's possible for a single soul to be the same way that they were once you see something that you should have never seen in the first place. The minute that someone violates your body, violates your person, they enter you under the consent that, all right, you're gonna let me fuck you. And if you let me penetrate you and take your virginity, your man card from you, then you can have every single female that you want. You can be on any billboard, you can be on any commercial. Hell, you can collaborate with whoever the fuck you want, as long as you let me bend you whenever I feel like it. All you got to do is let me record you, let me humiliate you, let me do whatever the fuck I want to you, and then you have fulfilled your purpose. Compromise your soul, compromise who you was when your parents raised you, your mom raised you, your father raised you, when you were growing up with cousins and nieces and nephews and aunts, and you were young and innocent and pure, and you didn't have all this hatred and bitterness in you, when you were still looking at the world with pure eyes. Go ahead and throw all of that away Throw it all over the way because you greedy, because you want money, because you want the fast life, because you want women who aren't even for you, but you're attracted to them and you want to fuck. So you want them to want you. So you take on the persona of somebody that you aren't. You do whatever you got to do to get the things that you think you need when you, in reality, when it's all said and done and the smoke is clear, it was never for you in the first place. Tell me I'm lying. You all have ex-friends. You all have ex-lovers. You've all been betrayed. You've all been backstabbed. Do you know, I've been on Twitter for the last 2 days officially, more than I've been on Twitter in years. I scroll up and down Twitter. Yeah, the people who are watching know that I've been on it. Some of you more than others. I've been scrolling and I see the same type of post. Never give too much of yourself to people who don't want to reciprocate. Don't love them more than you love yourself. Don't pour into them more than you pour into yourself. I will never ever invest in another person the way that I did. I'll never do this. Nope. I see that 80% of the time scrolling on it. So you know what I'm talking about. It changes you. When you take a part of your life and you give it away to someone else, when you give away your soul, when you give away who you are to another human being, that's a form of slavery. That's basically you saying, yes, master, I'm gonna do everything you say. As long as I get paid, as long as I get this money, I don't care if it's blood money. I don't care where it came from. Yes, master. Yes, master. I tell me what to do. Tell me how high to jump. Tell me what position you want me in. Tell me when you want me to do this. And yep, people do it all the time. So he's not lying. The psychological damage that comes from giving yourself away to another individual who don't give a shit about you, who is spiritually in darkness and walking impure themselves. Do you understand the spiritual aspect of it? Do you know what this does to your psyche, mentally, emotionally? You become a monster. You become angry. You become bitter. You become untrustworthy. You become a liar. You become in self, like, codependent. You are drugged out. You go to alcohol to try to forget and drown out the memories of the shit that you saw and did. You take out your anger and your frustrations on other people because of you. No, you compromised yourself. You did that. You introduced that stuff. You gave your spiritual energies to people that you shouldn't have. You thought that the grass was greener on the other side. Don't point the finger at them. Don't point the finger at nobody else but yourself. You signed them contracts. OnlyFans models, IG models, all y'all sign these contracts. Why? Because you think the easy money is going to give you the happiness that you want. And it don't work like that. It never works like that. And the reason why I'm talking about Terrence Howard again, because I already did a reaction to him, was because O'Shea Duke Jackson did a reaction to him recently, and I watched it and I'm listening to him talk. And I'm saying to myself, all right, brother, you make some good points. Let's dissect this. I don't know Terrence Howard's marital issues. I don't know his patterns. I don't know if he's abusive. I don't know if he beat the shit out of his exes. I don't know if he was crazy, nuts. I don't know none of that. I'm not a celebrity gossip type of nigga. I just go off of what I'm seeing and then I give my opinion. You're under the assumption, and I have to be unbiased. You're under the assumption that the reason why you don't believe Terrence Howard walked away from Diddy's propositions is because his patterns and his relationship are a reflection of someone who has suffered trauma. That piece I absolutely love. I love that portion. Because let's face it, if you've ever gotten the shit beat out of you, if you ever been touched inappropriately, if you ever, and that goes for men and women, if you've ever been done wrong multiple occasions by people, friends, so on, that shit affects you. It changes you. It's no different than putting cigarette smoke in your body or putting weed in your body or putting alcohol. It physically alters your genetics. And it makes shit harder for you to funnel out because everything is distorted from having different people come in and out of your life, different properties coming in and out of your life. How the hell does your body process something that was never supposed to be there in the first place?
Sensational.
That's why it's hard for people to quit smoking. It's hard for people to quit drinking. It's hard for people to get out of their addictions because the shit that they're addicted to was never designed to be a part of their system. So, Mr. Jackson, he suggests that Terrence Howard didn't actually avoid the baby oil. He didn't avoid the parties. He didn't avoid the homosexual activities that went inside of that mansion. In fact, he goes as far as to say he was a part of it willingly. At least that's my interpretation of it. Because based on what he posts, Terrence Howard has been alleged to be an abuser. He's alleged to be nuts. He's alleged to be off of his rocker. He ain't got it all up here. That's just your theory, just like this is my theory. It would be interesting to have a conversation with that brother myself. Like, I would love to actually, because look, I'm not them. I could just ask you. I could just ask. I've never listened to him speak and got the impression that he was crazy. But, you know, shit, people thought Shia LaBeouf was crazy too. People think Orlando Brown is crazy. It's all in perspective. But I would actually like to have a conversation with Mr. Howard. Because I know there's more that's not being spoken on. We've gone over this a million times. There is so much shit that has happened with Diddy that nobody has even scratched the surface on yet. This is, in my prediction, you're going to have to pay for them tapes. You're going to have to pay for them video leaks. You're going to have to pay for all of that audio. Like, if you one of them freaky ass people or one of them folks that just wants to be the first to have the information, you're going to have to pay for that shit. Guaranteed, they're going to make money off of it. You're not about to just get all of this for free. You're going to have to come out of your pocket. Terrence Howard is a human just like you and me. We've all had things to affect us and change us, and then you had to rebuild yourself and find a way to get out of that darkness that somebody, and including yourself, put you in. I know I ain't the only one going through that lonely tunnel, depressed, angry, at your lowest. You made decisions that made you look at yourself with embarrassment and humiliation. You can't believe you just did what you did, but you did it. So you got to live with the shit for the rest of your life. I know I ain't the only one. And what Mr. Jackson is proposing could be very accurate. It could be spot on. I've said this 100 times. I believe most of them people in Hollywood have been to the parties. I believe most of them have dibbed and dabbed into that shit. I absolutely believe it. I think a lot of them, if they speak now, they only doing it because they trying to get in front of the shit before their names get brought up. And trying to save face so it don't look as bad or they don't look as crazy. Sorry. There's no avoiding any of that. None. You signed the deal, hypothetically speaking. You decided that was the road you wanted to go, the lifestyle you wanted. Oh shit! I'm hanging out with 50 Cent. You can find me in a club. Lloyd Banks, Birdman. You on the Breakfast Club. You up there with Sexy Red, Grey's Anatomy. You guest starring in KFC commercials. Yeah, you wanted that. Don't you know that a regular job, an average 9 to 5, do you know the same shit happens there, except it's not that extreme? You might have coworkers fucking, but not to the extent that it's homosexual activity. You just might have a supervisor or somebody who got the power to sleep with one of one of their workers, and because they sleeping with one of the workers, that worker gets preferential treatment over you and everybody else. Allegedly, or they're a cousin of a cousin, or they're a family member, so they get preferential treatment. The same shit happens on a small scale, just like it does there, except the indulgences are different at the top, and they're a little more extreme. So if let's say Terrence Howard is lying about this and he's fabricating it, let's just say what he said here is true, but he's still lying, and he actually went back there behind them closed doors and did the Diddy bop. Okay, now what? Everybody is called out. Everybody is exposed for sleeping with them. Everybody is exposed for doing the unthinkable with them. Now what? Are you going to stop listening to their music? Are you going to stop watching the movies? Are you going to stop being entertained by them? Are you going to care one way or another? What was the point of lying? Did you really think that you were going to get away with it? Now, I don't really care what you do, because first of all, I ain't into men. I am not selling my body or my soul, and like it's not that big of a deal to me. You're gonna have to answer for that. That's your walk, not mine. Be gay all you want. My issues have nothing to do with your sexuality. My issues have more to do with the political aspect of it. You guys being influencers, being able to get in front of the camera and say whatever the fuck you want, and people listen to it and believe it, and they follow it as if it was the Bible, as it was written in stone. Everything that you say is gold. Everything that you say is original. Everything you say is wisdom. Everything you say is life altering, and it's going to better the entire family unit. It's going to make men men. It's going to make women women, and that's the end all be all. That's what I have a problem with, because it shifts the entire culture. You thinking that you got a blue check, and because you got millions of followers and subscribers, that makes you by default God, and you're not. Not a single one of you are. You're me, and you're him, and you're her, and you're her, and you're him, and you're everybody that is in here watching, and you're everybody that is around the corner from me, and everybody that's up the street from me. You're no different than nobody here.
Shut up, bitch!
So to address what O'Shea said, I'm not mad at your conclusion or your theory. You know why? Because it's very possible. It's very possible that he did everything that you're saying he did. Just because he's Terrence Howard does not mean that he's not a piece of shit. Just because he speaks articulate doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit. We got people who are the kindest in the world and they're pieces of shit. You don't have to be rich to be a piece of shit. You can be the prettiest woman in the world and be a piece of shit. Being a horrible person is not exclusive to your aesthetics or your status. That's pretty much how I feel on that particular portion of it. Either he's lying or he's not lying. If he's not lying, either way, he's not really fabricating nothing he said. That's real shit. There's no way in the world a guy is going to get fucked by another guy and still think the same or look the same. That's just like a dude going to prison. He's in there for 10, 15 years. You know damn well he done slept with somebody or he done got fucked by somebody in prison. He ain't going to think the same when he come out of there. He's indoctrinated. His mind is gone. He's different. You don't see the world the same. You can't see the world the same when you've been fucked over, literally, figuratively. There's no way you're going to look at men and women the same after they done did you dirty. When people done betrayed you, when people done spit in your face, you're not going to look at people the same no more. You're either going to lock in or you're going to lock yourself away. And that's the bottom line. But I digress. We want to be so perfect. We want to act like we're so perfect. We want to act like we don't do dirt. We don't move foul. We don't be out here hurting and harming people. We got all the smoke for him and everybody else. Like we shouldn't be pointing fingers at ourselves too. Okay. Either he is or he isn't. Gotcha. doesn't make it right. If he was abusing his women, his wife, his ex-girlfriends, etc., that doesn't make it right. Also, I want to say too, because you tried to make it seem like because allegedly he's abusive in his relationships, that's a response to him being affected by things that happened between him and Sean Combs. No, the fuck it does not mean that.
How dare you?
Just because, hypothetically speaking, he is guilty of the crimes and the accusations made against him, that does not correlate or directly tie him to Diddy. That doesn't mean that. If it's true, that shit could have came from something else. It could have came from his upbringing. It could have came from him being spoiled. It could have came from the fans and shit kissing his ass so much that he just thinks that he's God's gift to the world, and he walks around like he can just do whatever the fuck he want. I mean, most celebrities do that shit. They got inflated egos and think they can do whatever the hell that they want and get away with it. That doesn't mean that that shit happened because of abuse derived from him. I like the road that you were going, though. I do think that was a nice little segue to try to correlate the two. Nice try. Nice try. It's cool in theory, but unless you actually have evidence and proof that that's the root cause of the allegations, I'm not really trying to hear that. On top of that, my man, you didn't pull up no court cases. You didn't pull up no files, no police reports of any of these allegations made against him by these women that he was messing around with. You're just up here saying shit. You're going off of information, hearsay. Pull up the records. Pull up all of the files that suggest that this is, if he's been prosecuted, if he's had to pay restoration or any type of court fees for any of these abuse charges, then I'll stand corrected on that part. But to sit there and say, oh, he's beating the shit out of women and being abusive to women because of what was happening to him by another man, that's a stretch. It's not too far off, but it's kind of a stretch too, my G. I'm not gonna hold you. Really. That's something that we have to stop doing. Don't put something on somebody that you don't have facts on. I get what you were going with, because if we're being honest, when you've gone through something, it does change you, man. There were days where I'm like, damn, I don't even know who I am. I don't, like, how did I get here? What happened to me? How did I let it get this far? How could I let something like this get to me the way that it did? I've had many moments like that. And through the experience of heartache and loss, through the experiences that I've had with various people who have left since then, it has changed my behavior patterns. It has made me communicate differently. It has made me more reclusive. It has made me step back more. It has made me not trust as much. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be this. When shit happens to you, you become an entirely different person, good or bad. So it's not that I'm dismissing your claim, bro, but we're not going to 100% tie this to him. That's all I'm saying about that, all right? This last portion that I want to address is Mr. Holcomb, Mr. Corey Holcomb. This is good. This is pretty good. I ain't really been a smoothie person like that, but I ain't gonna hold you. These are like that. They come in handy too, especially when you ain't trying to be eating late at night. I got a habit of frying up fries and chicken and all that at 10, 12 o'clock at night. Nah, that'll get you right. Side note, if you have any foods that can help like get rid of like the gut and get rid of that extra fat in the belly, hook a brother up. Corey Holcomb, let's talk, sir. You had some things to say about this brother as well, but I think the approach that you had was a bit different. O'Shea Duke Jackson was pretty much throwing the book at Terrence Howard. You are more or less inquisitive about how he could have possibly survived Diddy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you say no, you're not going to sell out. You're not going to backstab nobody. When you're not going to take the deal, they say, fuck you. You don't want to be a part of the club. You're going to stay on the outside, and we're going to make it more difficult for you to be successful. We're going to make sure that you have a hard time getting anything done. Once you say no, it's a wrap. And I think a lot of people, especially those two, because they're the ones that I recently just listened to speak on this. I think the reason why no one really believes that he didn't have or partake in any activities with the Johnson & Johnson baby oil is because he went on to still thrive in Hollywood. He still got good roles, like good roles. Empire was the shit for a number of years. I never really watched it. Not my thing. But Empire was the shit for a long time. He's played in some good movies as well. We're not going to sit here and act like he fell off. He did his thing. So people are looking at it like, shit, how the hell does somebody become Lucius Lyon and they didn't sell their ass? Think about it. Lucius Lyon, everybody knows him. I didn't really care to watch it, but I know who that is. Cookie. You didn't have to even watch the show to know who them people was. That's how big of a platform that was. When that came out, everybody was watching it. He's in this video, he's telling you the things that women and men have to do. It's like having PTSD. You're no longer owner. You're not fully the owner of yourself anymore. You belong to your decisions. You are a heterosexual woman, heterosexual man before you walk through them doors. They took something personal from you that you can never get back again. The only thing that's supposed to come out of your rectum is feces, shit, doo-doo, whatever you want to call it. Nothing is supposed to go in there unless you're getting an examination. Nothing is supposed to go in there, especially not an appendage from another man. And then once you cross that barrier, there is no return. How could you be the same afterwards? The suggestion is he did it. But Corey is like, well, if you didn't do this, how the hell did you end up on Empire? How the hell did you get these roles? Which suggests to me what you're basically saying is the only people who get these major mainstream roles like The Matrix and fucking The Woman King, and the only way you get those roles is if you do something freaky for it. That's the only way. The only way you become famous. Kevin Hart, for an example. The only way you get the think people like Kevin Hart been in movies damn near on every year. He been in damn near everything. And I noticed the pattern too. Like when they really, really be trying to push you and they really want people to look at you like you the guy or you the girl, they make sure that you are in everything. Movies, commercials, programs, telemarketing, all that shit. And Kevin Hart was damn near in everything. There's a list of people that you just saw constantly. It got to the point where I was like, damn, how many? I'm tired of seeing the same actors in the same movies. Like, damn, can we mix this shit up? Can we get some other people up here too? Because yeah, I fuck with Jason Statham. I wouldn't mind seeing Bill Murray again. We have other actors and actresses that are hella dope, but they will push whoever is in their circle. And I'm alleging the circle. The point I'm trying to make is, I think Corey is saying, look, bro, most of these celebrities sold themselves for this shit. So if you didn't sell yourself, I want to know, how the hell did you get through it? How did you do what they didn't? Because there has to be a blueprint. Everybody's not out here trying to sell themselves for fame and money. Some people want to stay true to themselves, give you what they have to offer that's God given, and they want to do it full. They don't want to be separated from their relationship with him just because the easy and fast way seems to be more gratifying faster. There's people who still have morals. So he's like, all right, man, I would love to have a conversation with him. I would love to talk to him. Whenever you got somebody like Corey Holcomb talking, and he's very explicit, he don't sugarcoat shit. He say exactly what it is. You know it's real. You absolutely know it's real. So he's just like, yeah, I want to have this conversation with you, bro. I need to know how you do it. Because at some point, They're gonna come and welcome me, and I'm not about to do what everybody else did. I want to do this my way, and I'm gonna stay true to myself. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm not gonna be sleeping with no old ass cougars. I'm not gonna be bent over by no old ass men, and you're not about to perform weird ass rituals on me in front of 200 people with Johnson & Johnson baby oil lathering themselves up. We're not about to be doing all of that shit. Nobody's about to be doing that.
What?
You're tripping. You're absolutely out of your fucking mind if you think anyone's going to be doing anything like that. We are trying to build our careers and our futures the right way. The minute you have little sneaky, snaky, dark things, dark deals going on between you and another party, and you compromise yourself, you're forever going to be ensnared by it, because it's always going to be lingering over you, following you around. That's no way to live. That's no way to operate. Nobody's looking for that. Nobody wants that. But for most of y'all, it's already too late. You've already done crossed that bridge. You done enjoyed it. You done embraced it for a lengthy amount of time too. Not just for a week, not just for a day. You've been a part of this shit for years. You just found yourself accepting it for what it is. That's where you are. So bottom line, he say he didn't do it. All you got is his word. And you're only going to know if he was lying if there's any evidence to come out, any footage, testimonies, anything like that that comes out and it's legitimate. That's the only way you're going to know if it ain't what it is. Let's play it fair, though. If he's guilty, what did he do? If he's guilty of it, who is he guilty to? He's not guilty to me. I don't have nowhere to put you. I don't have a heaven or hell or prison to put you in. That's not me. That's not my power. Is Hollywood all corrupt? Is it all dirty? Is it all filth? That's for you to decide. I'll let y'all be the determining factor on that one. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to assume. I give perspectives. He's either he's telling the truth that he ain't had no involvement in it and he made his life hard, or he fabricating it, and in which case it's going to come out one way or another. That's just how it is. But it's not really that big of a deal to be. So I don't know. It just feels like we being nosy, but shit, you put this out here on the internet. This is a spotlight that y'all wanted. So, I mean, it come with the territory. People are going to go out of their way to try to ruin your reputation. And they're going to go out of their way to lie, put shit on you that ain't yours to claim. I just ask that God keep me. He cover me. that I'm never in a position where if I'm at that crossroad, nothing in me would ever consider going that direction. Never, ever in life should a heterosexual man or a heterosexual woman ever compromise themselves for $1. That shit is not worth it. It really ain't. It really isn't. So, before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in, who watched. I thank you for the repost. I thank you for the likes. I thank you for the shares. Would love your input. Do you agree? Do you believe him? Do you think, he's a part of the club? Do you care? It's all just opinion. It's all just opinion. We share our thoughts and our opinions every single day. So we'll see what happens. But shit, if he does see this, either or, I wouldn't mind having a sit down with any of them. I think it would be dope. Let's have a conversation with the average regular person. Have a sit down with somebody who ain't up here compromised. Let's see how well you do with a person who does not have any connections to anybody. So there's really nothing to gain or lose. Anyway, I got my lineup ready, Lord willing. I'm about to get up out of here. Some of you I'll see after the stream. Some of you I won't. If I don't see you after the stream, stay blessed. Stay covered. Don't compromise yourself. To the people that I see after the stream, let's continue to network, continue to build, hopefully. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. You dig what I'm saying? This is Deepentropy signing out. Y'all be easy. I will see you guys either tomorrow or Monday. I don't know if I'm going live tomorrow or not. But I know I'm going live Monday, Lord willing. So I'll holler at y'all